You are now in front of the sports hall of the Municipal Sports and Recreation Center in Łódź. Łódź's Palace of Sport was built between 1948 and 1957, according to the design of a Gdansk engineer Witold Prochaska. The hall was equipped with a full-size ice rink, making it one of the most modern facilities of that type in Poland. The inaugural hockey match was watched by 8,000 spectators. The building had a few film episodes in its history. 3 years after the hall's opening, on 15th July 1960, exactly the 550th anniversary of the Grunwald battle, the first public screening of Alexander Ford's Teutonic Knights took place here. Several thousand people were present at the premiere, seated in sectors as well as on the main floor. Upon the initiative of the first secretary of the Polish United Workers' Party in Łódź, Michalina Tatarkówna, tickets were distributed in factories because the intention was that the film would be first seen by the Łódź workers. As one of those present at the show recalled, the applause during the battle was so thunderous that it was feared whether the vault of the hall would collapse. The premiere was also attended by its director himself and actors playing the main roles, who were immediately surrounded by the audience. It should be recalled that the picture, produced by the Łódź Feature Films Studio, was a Polish candidate for an Oscar in 1960. Although it failed to get a nomination, however, the film was a gigantic success in its native country. It was on everyone's lips, stirred up huge emotions, and as far as wide as Poland was concerned, its various aspects were discussed. There was even a moment in which two gentlemen in Warsaw's Nowy Świat café could be heard shouting in each other's faces while holding the lapels of their jackets and arguing different opinions on the helmet worn by King Jagiełło in the film. However, the hall in its film aspect served not only as a venue for screenings, but also as a location. Certainly the best-known production realized in its interiors was Paweł Pawlikowski's Cold War. After the Oscar success of Ida, Pawlikowski's next film was highly anticipated. A tale of difficult, unfulfilling love, tangled in history, the director told the story based on the story of his parents. During a review organized for young talents in a folk band, he, an experienced pianist played by Tomasz Kot, picks out from the crowd a young woman, Zula, who from the very first moment arouses his interest. Their long-lasting feeling for each other runs through post-war Europe with them, although they are at different times on various sides of the Iron Curtain. The cinematography, for which Łukasz Żal, who had already collaborated with Pawlikowski, was responsible, incidentally it may be added that he is a graduate of Łódź Film School, was largely realized in Łódź. One of the locations was the sports hall, which was turned into the East Berlin Youth Palace, where the Mazurek folk group comes to perform. On screen, members of the band are seen twirling in dance, applauded by the audience from high stands, on which a giant portrait of the two Soviet leaders, Lenin and Stalin, stretches. According to a secret agreement, it is here in the GDR capital that Viktor and Zula are supposed to take advantage of the situation and make their way across the Iron Curtain to the free world of their dreams. In the next shot, we see Viktor smoking a cigarette in a hotel room, a room that is also one of the Łódź Palace of Sports, which we can recognize from the characteristic mosaic with skaters. It is, in a sense, a key moment for the film. Together with the protagonist, we are aware that by making the decision to flee, there will be no turning back. Willing to take a risk, Viktor walks out the room with a suitcase, crossing the pillar space of the sports hall and makes his way to the exit. During the filming, another scene was shot with the use of the sports hall, this time outdoors. The eastern facade was decorated with flags, Polish, German, Czechoslovakian, Soviet and Korean, giant sheets of red cloth with white doves of peace, and a marching group of 80 extras with scarves and flags left no doubt that a World Youth and Student Festival was taking place in the capital of the GDR. Eventually, the scene did not make it into the film, after all, so it's only known from souvenir photos from the set. The film earned Oscar nominations in 3 categories: Best Foreign Language Film, Best Director, and Best Cinematography. Although the film failed an attempt of winning the Golden Statuette, still, it did receive a lot of attention and won many awards at European festivals, including the Best Director award at the Cannes Film Festival for Paweł Pawlikowski and 5 statuettes of European Film Awards, the most prestigious awards given to European films, the so-called European Oscars. Finally, it should be mentioned that the film's editor is Jarosław Kamiński, a lecturer at the Łódź Film School and a member of the American Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which awards the legendary Oscars.